Hi guys, I just got back from my Luau market and this was an interesting one. I wasn't expecting the weather to be bad. There was only like 10 to 20% chance of rain, and I think the first 2 hours were okay, and then it started like getting super windy and everything was like blowing over. I heard like glass crashing from some of the other vendors' products falling, and my stickers were flying and my business cards were flying off the table. And then it started raining, and we were under an awning for this one, and so I didn't bring the tent because I assumed that under the awning we wouldn't get wet. But the awning was so high above us that the wind was just blowing the rain straight in, even though there were other booths on both sides of us, and my plushies were getting wet, and so it was a whole thing. But overall, the market really wasn't horrible. I did make a decent amount. I'll go ahead and put in the clip of before the market, and then I got a little clip of the rain.
This is my booth before the market. I did have my earrings out in the beginning for this video, but then once it got windy, I had to put them away. Here's the clip of it raining. I did have to turn the sound off because there was music playing.
I forgot to take a video of once it was raining, we had to put all the plushies away, and so we took everything down, and then we had to re-put everything back out again once it stopped raining like an hour and a half later. But anyways, I'll get into what sold. So I actually sold 2 things before the market started. I think they were to other vendors, but I'm not really sure. So the first one actually I do remember was a vendor, and the first thing I sold was a rainbow, and I sold this one for $12. And then the second thing that I sold before the market started was my blue and green dino, and this one is so cute. I'm glad this one sold. And that dino sold for $50. And so at this point, by the time that the market started, I had already made $62, which was a great start. So then in the first hour, I'd only made 3 sales. So the first thing I sold was this laying down cow, and it's the blue one. This was a pattern test that I did for Zero Gravity Crochet, and this one sold for $25. And then I sold an axolotl, and I sold a sticker. So these are new. This is only my second event having the stickers, so I was glad to sell one of these. So those sold together for $23. The axolotl is $20 and the sticker is $3. And then I sold a classic bee, and that sold for $15. And that was the first hour. And then we get into the second hour, which was pretty busy. First, I sold a round frog or a pocket frog. The pattern says pocket frog, but I call them a round frog. Just because when I put pocket frog on the signs, people didn't know what that meant. But that one sold for $10. And then I sold 2 of my pins, and this is the second market that I've had my pins at, so I was glad to sell some of those. Those sold for $4 total because they're $2 each. And then I sold a blueberry for $15. And then I sold another pin. Next, I sold an Octo and a mini chick, and the same person bought those ones, and the total was $24. So the chick is $12 and the Octo is $12. And then I sold another rainbow, and this one sold for $10 because it was just the flat rainbow. It didn't have the arch in the middle. Next, I sold a pop mushroom, and that sold for $15. And then I sold another pin for $2. And that is everything I made in the second hour. And at this point is when the wind started to pick up and the rain started. and we weren't really sure how long it was going to rain because we weren't really expecting the rain. And I was kind of looking around to see if other people were packing up or what, but most people were just putting their tent down so that it would cover more of their stuff better, and so the rain coming from the side wouldn't come in. And so I was kind of thinking, like, should we leave? But we weren't supposed to leave yet, and I was worried about stuff getting wet, but I decided to just wait, and if it started getting rain to where we were, then we would just put stuff away. And of course it did. The wind was just like coming straight sideways, and so we were getting it. It was more like it was sprinkling on us. It wasn't pouring on us. It was pouring outside, but where we were, it was just like sprinkles coming in. But then it got heavier, and so the plushies were getting wet, and so we decided to like put them away. We like hurried and got out all the totes and just like threw them all into the totes as fast as we could so that they wouldn't get rained on anymore. And then we just sat there, and it was like really kind of awkward because I didn't know what to do. And it rained for like, I think an hour and a half it was raining. And I was just kind of sitting there like, I guess I'm just waiting on the rain to stop. And then finally it stopped raining on us. It was still raining outside, but it wasn't as windy and it wasn't as hard a rain. So we decided to put the plushies back out. So we put everything up. So when you see the clip at the end of the video of after the market, if some of the things are moved, that's why, because we had to take everything down and put it back up. And some of the things ended up in different places than they were before. But it was over 2 hours without a sale because of that rain and having to pack everything up and just waiting on the rain to end. And of course, there weren't very many customers while it was pouring rain. So it was really just a waiting game, and I was so worn out because I had a market yesterday as well, and I was kind of just like, I just want to go home. But I decided to stick it out, and I'm glad that I did, because although there weren't that many customers after the rain stopped, I still did make some good sales. So the next thing that I sold was a dragon and a laying stegosaurus, and this is the no-sew pattern that I tested for zero gravity crochet, and those sold for $50 total. They were $25 each. And then I sold another axolotl. This was a pink one, and that sold for $20. And then I sold a rainbow bee, and that one sold for $15. And then I sold another large dino, and this was the purple one, and that one sold for $50. And then the last thing that I sold was another popping mushroom, and that one sold for $15. So this wasn't the best market I've ever done, but considering that it was raining for like a good 2 hours during the market, I would say, you know, it was pretty good for that. It was definitely a lot less customers at this event than there usually are. But this event was actually postponed. It was supposed to be last month, and due to severe weather, they had to postpone it to this day. So I think that that's part of the reason why the attendance was down. And then, of course, because of the rain as well, I'm sure that deterred a lot of people from coming. But considering all of that, I think I did pretty well. Of course, I wish it wasn't, I wish it wouldn't have been raining, but there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to stick it out, and I'm glad that I did, because otherwise, if I would have left when it started raining, I would have only brought home $200, but instead, the total that I made for this market was $357. So, had I left when it started raining and not stuck it out, I would have lost $150. So I'm glad that I stayed, even though I was tired. But I also spent some of that time crocheting and doing some more market prep, because I definitely need to stock up again. And I've got a super busy month coming up. I have 2 more markets this month and a family trip, and I'm working at art camp every week. So it's gonna be super busy, and we'll see how much market prep I can get done, but I don't think I'm gonna have time to get a lot done. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to know what was your favorite thing that I sold at this market. Let me know in the comments below, and please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and make sure you're following to see my upcoming videos, because I've got lots of markets coming up, so I'm going to be making lots of market blogs that should be up pretty soon.